My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
8SKH406, 8TED378, BU77U78, 6B14830, 7YAK814, 8Y11949, 5ESN743, 8Y61770, 8XSR397, 8HIL922, 7LZC966, 8YEV134, 8HPR472, 8GIP688, 7RCD295, 8RED643, 8HSC791, 7BTS616, 8GUC446, 7VLEO29, 7DIS023, 6TCL397, 7H57100, 7POV550, 8PAF140, 61092E2, 7PAV325, 7UKX890, 8F10456, 4RHINNO, VENICE, 8JJE305, 5NJB063, 8TVY459, 8LEG651. And as captured this morning, let me get this first, 8XAK733, third party license plate JPOWERS, stalking with activity as I'm in operation of my phone, just capturing what is the road where the people of the state who are engaging in demonic activity while they're monitoring communication devices. This is terrorism, 8DWK047, 6YCL194. This is terrorism while the entity, again, this is revealing what is the ways in which an entity that is stalking and monitoring is also engaging in terrorism because it's ritualistic demonic activity. And the entity engaging in what is an incessant shaking and moving vibration of the car, which is not occurring when traffic is driving by. All right, you can use a loud motorcycle. It's not vibrating the seats in the car. You can use a large dumpster truck. It's not going to create an earthquake inside of the car. This is referred to as what is sensational activity. It's the same demonic behavioral pattern, and that same environment is facilitated through such demonic activity. And JPOWERS is a third party that crosses paths as I'm capturing images of what is relevant positioning by the people of the state and where I happen to be, where that terrorism is documented, and that's at 403 West G Street in Ontario. 7JDZ134, 8YMK319, 8LLG356, 7GXY354, 8PHT321, 8XYF941, 8SZL108, and that is literally, you have what are the people of a state stalking by engaging in driving by and engaging in what is terrorism while doing so, just one after another, who are demon possessed, just one after another, engaging in that sort of conduct of targeting an American citizen. 85376F3. And that is the conduct of demons, by the way. They engage in what is harassment. They are hostile creatures, especially as you are documenting and prosecuting. All right. 8YCP393. It is, by the way, currently 10:03 a.m. ITPSHLF 6JGD 869, I believe. License 56170T2. Two 6804K2, 8ZPZ041, 8GQG320, 7ZHS384, 8LXN915, 8MVT007. So just want to be clear, this is the ceaseless pattern of conduct, and you are speaking to what is the criminal act of what is harassment by a demon-possessed entity that's engaging in interstate stalking, and that's the breakdown of that conduct. These are demons, and as you are prosecuting the criminal conduct by the demon-possessed, who are acting vicariously on behalf of a government that is placing you under surveillance. BV698, that's handicap, 6JTS550, security paving, 58920D 3. A license 6ZOX761, 8YLT778, 5SGZ095, 8HJR445, 7SMG375. Oh, I read that one already. GHL287, looking out of state license plate. Let's see, 8TNE574, 7R77065, 5KRE335, 6BNR450, 08587 handicap, 5VVS520, 6BPD941, 8WGE753, 8ABP978, 7PWW090, 8CYN468, 8RMR408, 5ULS248, 8POJ357, 8EWK667, 8SXH456, 8JGF036, 6DQM101, 8XZN798, 8JZG999, 6XKN411, 7EPY091, 7USG838, 8FWE420. It's 10:07 a.m. All right, group stalking in the parking lot at Mountain Square where the Dunkin' Donuts is. Directed light is on the ground. This is an old white man, 8MOA424. Same exact demon possession. The light source is over the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot, which is a grand departure. This is not the actual sun. That's why it was nowhere near this parking lot while I am in the city of Fontana, while I'm on the bus going to Fontana, while I'm at the Pomona Regional Transit Center, while I remain at the Upland Public Library, while at this time I showed you at what is on February 13th, 2022, the KFC as I remain there, the light source remaining central over my head. The entity engaging in what is, and the entity you're speaking of that I'm documenting again, this is Satan itself. So you're talking about what is the conduct of a delusional psychopath, but that's a threat that's posed while an entity is placing you under surveillance, and then you document, and then you engage in what is ongoing, which is also damning, but ongoing chicanery with the environment. All right, covering up the fake sun does not change the documentation, but you're dealing with what is an entity that is unprepared to deal with documentation of what is stalking in an unheard of manner with a light source with an entire environment, covering up that fake sun and then showing it when you're at the whatever venue that it is that you're going to, which is a matter of public information where you're going while you're subject to surveillance. So you have what is the maintenance now of the fake sun over Dunkin' Donuts, which is impossible to coexist with my documented presence at distinctly different locations. All right, and that is also speaking to the demon possession and conduct of what are third parties stalking while I am in the vehicle at 403 West G Street in Ontario, and an ongoing perpetual vibratory impact, earthquake impact. That's not traffic. Okay, that's not caused by some loud, amplified audible activity that coexists with that sensational activity. It's demonic. Okay, and you have what is the entity maintaining this light source over Dunkin' Donuts, where you also saw the demonic environment inside of that Dunkin' Donuts with directed light. Directed light on the ground. This is also a demon, 7UFB840. All right, it is the ongoing demonstration of that demonic environment engaging in that terrorism, which is already documented at this venue. Dunkin' Donuts is again at 355 Mountain Avenue, 6JCR140, crossing path under the fake sun, and then you have a demon getting out of the vehicle. 8UPR106, 6XKN411, 70PY091. They're engaging in surveillance in the parking lot. All right, this is what they're doing while I'm in the car, and then the state just engaging in it. By the state, I mean this demonic entity, 8EWK667, 8JZG999, stalking while I'm in a vehicle, engaging in ongoing terrorism while the car is subject to a perpetual shaking. This is demonic. You're surrounded by what are demonic spirits. These are the demon possessed who know you're in that car. That's why the fake sun is captured day in and day out. 8POJ357. All right, and you're talking about what is sensational activity, the same ongoing indication of what is the pattern of conduct and that demonic conduct. All right, 7NDE949. These are demons that are pacing, including Tracy Banks 4WO432. The fake sun remains over me while I'm in her car. 4965991. That's an out-of-state license plate. And then she drops me off wherever it is that she drops me off amongst demons who remain present with whom she is monitoring. Okay? License plate. (7ZYY594 8SXN924). All right, it is 10:10 a.m. This is P.O.C. at Dunkin' Donuts at 355 South Mountain Avenue in the city of Upland. All right, capturing what is relevant positioning inside of Dunkin' Donuts, where minions that are engaging in interstate stalking are literally just sitting inside of a Dunkin' Donut shop. That's literally the breakdown. Stalking wherever it is the target individual is, engaging in what is presence at a facilitating venue. That's what that is. While that environment is maintained, including what is the demonic directed light and the light source that's over the venue. All right, it is currently 10:12 a.m. and I did capture what is that group stalking conduct in still images. This is inside of the Dunkin' Donuts that is already documented, by the way, heavily documented. So this is indeed the P.O.C. It's 10:12 a.m. This is, 10:12 in the morning at 355 South Mountain Avenue. Alrighty, you have what is aiming directed light onto the menus while I'm out in line looking at it, and these are demons working there, a demon ordering while they're stalking, and you have substantial directed light moving inside of the Dunkin' Donuts across the menu, and you can see the menu across this minion's head, and this is where they're aiming that directed light. And I've showed you what is a still image. All of these are demons who are stalking inside of the Dunkin' Donuts, monitoring with communication devices. This is how what are the demon possessed, who are third parties, are engaging in what is group stalking on behalf of the government while they're monitoring with communication devices, and it's entirely demonic. It's captured at 10:14 a.m. What you're looking at is a demon that's associated with the company Dunkin' Donuts and engaging in that terrorizing act. You saw what is, as I captured it on video, the directed light that is appearing inside of the Dunkin' Donuts on the wall. That's exactly what they aimed onto the menu. While psychopaths, these are demons that surround, engaging in what is stalking in the path while that light activity is created, which is entirely satanic conduct. It's impossible light activity. That impossible light activity is prefacing what is the presence of demons who are engaging in what is interstate stalking. All right, it's currently 10:15 a.m. Are you in line?
Yeah.
Okay, so is I.
Right there. They're holding. I just gotta trying to read.
Oh, you're just trying to read? Yeah, she's crossing path. I'm showing you what is a stalker while directed light is aiming inside and getting in front of me in line in order to do so. This is called crossing path. All right, so that's why I'm documenting it on my podcast right now. It's 10:15 a.m. This is the minion with the ponytail while directed light is being spread across the menus on the wall, which is impossible light. I'm in line. I'm trying to read the menu while she's crossing path in that directed light. That's the conduct of what is, by the way, psychopaths engaging in that pattern of conduct. Relevant positioning, light activity, and audible activity. This is P.O.C. at Dunkin' Donuts. Alrighty, it is 10:19 a.m. This is documentation of what is federal stalking in the private space at Dunkin' Donuts while minions, these are the demon possessed who are engaging in stalking at the venue. Where directed light is present, you are subject to that ongoing surveillance, and this is documentation of that sex offending entity. It is 10:19 a.m., so I want to document that on my podcast as well. I'm also on surveillance cameras. All right, I do want to speak to what is the sex offender, that is the people of the state who are acting on behalf of the entity inside of the Dunkin' Donuts. Let me be clear, Dunkin' Donuts represents the people of the state. Every third party here, they are representing an entity. All right, so I want to make sure I clarify that. And you have what is a sex offender. That is a very precise description of what is a demon-possessed entity. So you're talking about what is knowledge as to what I'm doing, where I am, as I am doing it, and then engaging in what is sexually violent and predatory conduct that is accomplishing surveillance with communication devices. And so you have what is the entity that is a sex offender in doing so, and also is communicating and terrorizing threat, trying to break into the bathroom while you are already surveilling me and monitoring and aware of everything that I'm doing in real time. Okay, this is the sex offender. This is occurring inside the Dunkin' Donuts. And this is at approximately 10:21 a.m. And not only that, this is what you have seen, for example, at Starbucks, heavily documented third-party facilitating venue. And not only at the Starbucks did I document, they even had indicators on the outside of the door that said whether it was vacant or occupied, and you have to enter in a code. And you have what was the same exact environment, directed light. The fake sun was over the Starbucks. The venue itself was filled with directed light. This was none other than the pattern of conduct. And you have what are the demon-possessed, who are sex offenders, engaging in the pattern of breaking in the bathroom. This is accomplishing, first of all, relevant positioning while you are in front of the door, breaking in. And then it is the unpersuasive guise of ignorance as to your presence while you are engaged in surveillance. That is the conduct of a terrorizing threat by a sex offender who is engaging in what is communicating that threat as well while trying to break into the bathroom, because you want to engage in activity creation and hostility, because you also know that you're being documented. So I want to be clear, it is 10:25 a.m. This is Dunkin' Donuts, and this is a minion that's breaking into the door. The door does say that it is occupied. It does have a lock on it, but I want to be clear, this is just providing to what is, again, you're subject to surveillance. So these are demons, and this is the government that already knows that you are in the bathroom. You're subject to surveillance, and that's why directed light is inside of the venue. That's why the fake sun is over the venue. So I want to document that terrorizing threat inside of the private space while demons are here ordering coffee and donuts, holding their communication devices until under a fake sun. It is currently 10:26 a.m. This is P.O.C. Do I? Yeah, what's your name? Vanessa. Do I have a hot hibiscus tea? Yeah, I do.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you. That's Vanessa. She's engaged in bathroom monitoring with the demons who are trying to break into the bathroom door. Vanessa is a sex offender. Vanessa is a demon-possessed stalker. Let me be clear. That's why directed light is inside of the venue. And that's exactly what that conduct reveals. And it is also speaking to what is the companies that are engaging in that malicious pattern of conduct, which is also sexually violent. So I want to make sure I document the name. That was Vanessa. She's on surveillance cameras. And so is the minion that goes to the bathroom door and tries to break in, which is engagement in what is the elements of monitoring, by the way. And doing so while you are subject to that pattern of conduct in the bathroom. Trying to break into the bathroom is not only the communication of a threat while you are documenting, which the entity that's monitoring you knows this, but it is also analogous to what the entity does. For example, amplification of audible activity in the bathroom. It's achieving that purpose. The entity is engaging in interstate stalking in the private space. The entity is a sex offender. Okay? It is currently 10:27 a.m. This is P.O.C. at Dunkin' Donuts at 355 South Mountain Avenue. This is P.O.C. All right, I did capture images of what is positioning by this minion you see with the laptop computer. And then you see the minion with the hat. He's got on a green sweater hoodie thing on and a Bass Pro Shop hat with a black face mask. These minions trying to cover up their faces. This is not concerned with COVID-19. They're engaged in criminal activity that they know is being documented. So I want to be clear, they're stalking in the path. He's maintaining presence, and he's not acting by himself, but this is stalking. The minion with the laptop is behind me. This is called positioning. And then you have demons that are pacing all around back and forth. Coming in and placing an order is just that which is incidental to the stalking pattern of conduct. They're doing so while directed light is shooting inside of the venue. These are demons. Okay, I captured that. You have what is, it's 10:36 a.m. So I'm showing you what is the stalking in the path. You see the positioning of a communication device while directed light is shooting inside of the venue. This is demonic activity. This is the prosecution for what is the sex offender, for what is the terrorist, all right? And that terrorist is identified as an entity. It's the people of the state. And these are demons that engage in this sort of stalking, and it is concentrated on the use of communication devices. And so I want to be clear, ordering a donut, coming in and ordering coffee is no form. It is really revealing what is our psychopaths who are engaged in hovering, obsessive level stalking. That that obsession is born of demon possession. Satan itself is a stalker. All right, that's how you would, in the finite realm, being people who use words to communicate, it's identified, Satan itself as a stalker. This spirit is on a people, and that spirit you are able to witness through what is that environment, which is demonic. Okay, if the actual sun is present over the Dunkin' Donuts, as I documented already, by the way, on February 6, 2022 at 9:02 in the morning, and remaining until after 4:50 over the same exact parking lot in alignment with me, if that was the sun, which you know it's not. Okay, but nonetheless, let's just use a time as an example. If that was the actual sun over the Dunkin' Donuts roof, as I captured on February 6, 2022, then I wouldn't be able to capture it remaining over me as I did yesterday at 325 West G Street in Ontario. I would not be able to capture what is the light source that's directly over me, in alignment with me, by the way, while I am on the bus headed to what is the city of Fontana. That is after the time of 9:02. That is headed in a direction east of the city of Ontario. That is remaining, as I also documented, after 5 p.m. in alignment with me at that same venue. And then as I walk to the Fontana Metrolink train station, if that was the actual sun that is over the Dunkin' Donuts, as I showed in video on February 6, 2022, which I showed a series of video documentation of that light source remaining over this roof, this address. If that was the actual sun, then I would not be able to capture what is a light source that's appearing as though it's supposed to be the sun, and that's going to require you to forget and disregard all of that documentation of the distinctly and mutually exclusive locations of this light source that is central over my head, where I am, for example, inside of the Upland Public Library. It's 10:39 a.m. All right, I have showed you what is the light source directly over my head through the roof of the Upland Public Library at 10:19 a.m. in the morning, through the what is the window while I'm inside of the Upland Public Library. I'm speaking to what is the light source, and this is speaking to what is the presence of demons, and that's how you're witnessing what are the demon possessed. And these psychopaths who are demon possessed engage in stalking, doing so while what is directed light is shooting inside. That's how you're witnessing the demon possession. That's how you're witnessing the presence of Satan. And what they are doing, let me be clear, stalking, sitting behind, positioning with a laptop, a communication device, positioning in front with communication devices, cell phones, pacing back and forth in what is directed light. I also showed you what is the directed light that's inside of this venue while I hold up my hand. I placed my cup on the table, and you saw what is the crisscrossing quadruple shadows of my cup, of my hand, all right? The multiple shadows, that's directed light, all right? And then you have what is understanding the sex offender that is trying to break into the bathroom because they're engaging in the ongoing elements of monitoring with communication devices, surveillance in the bathroom. While you are stalking in the path and directed light is shooting, appearing, manifesting on the walls all around, as I also showed you video of, while you are standing around with a communication device, with a cell phone, just looking in the other direction. That's the conduct of Satan. Those are delusional psychopaths. This is the prosecution of a people. Understand, the people of the state are vicariously present on behalf of a government who is engaging in the criminal placement of surveillance of an American citizen. This is a violation of Title 18. All right, and this is ongoing while you are also monitoring the documentation. This is not only documenting, for example, the ongoing conduct of an entity. So like I said, it is in no way distinct from what is documenting the United States Postal Service, who was stalking at 749 Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, under the fake sun at 10:35 in the morning while I'm at the intersection of 11th and Euclid Avenue. All right. It is not distinct from Amazon Prime group stalking at what is 4:58 p.m. under the fake sun in the city of Fontana while they are stalking in traffic. All right, and I remain molested with directed light. This is an ongoing pattern of conduct that is not distinct from what is the heavily documented stalking conduct by commercial airline planes who are hovering over me in the venue where I'm at while the fake sun is hovering over my head. And directed light coexists with that presence. It is not distinct. It is the same exact P.O.C. And this is that demonic pattern of conduct underway inside of a building, in the same way that it's underway inside of a car where I happen to be. And these demons circulate around me. Okay, it is currently 10:41 a.m. I just want to break that down and document that on podcast. I already captured this demon that's engaging in positioning with a laptop behind me. Demons are pacing around that are also working here, but also coming inside to engage in what is group stalking, maintenance of presence in the path, while directed light and a fake sun remains over. All right, this is P.O.C. at Dunkin' Donuts, 10:42 a.m. All right, documenting the ongoing conduct of stalking in the path inside of the venue of Dunkin' Donuts. Everything that is ongoing is documented on surveillance cameras, by the way. So you're understanding what is the demonic activity that you're witnessing. You're witnessing what is also stalking by an entity. This is what you're witnessing, and it's being documented on surveillance camera. What I captured in still images, you're looking at what are the demon-possessed, an old male, with white hair, and he's wearing a blue jacket with white lettering on it. It's the Dodgers. He's with an old woman as well. They're seen on surveillance cameras. They're loitering in relevant position. You see them focusing on a communication device. They're monitoring what I'm doing on my phone. You can see me as well. You see me operating my phone and what I'm doing on my phone. And at the very moment that I stop, I have finished what I'm doing with regard to clearing up my phone. This is a demon, first of all, that is stalking in the path and is maintaining real-time knowledge of everything that I am doing while they are standing in the room, monitoring what I am doing on my phone. You're looking at on surveillance cameras, which is another method of documentation that belongs to the target individual, where you are documenting the entity, by the way. So like I said, you have what is witnessing this monitoring conduct, and at the moment that I'm finished doing what it is that I'm doing, you see this demon cross his path. They're doing so in directed light. Okay, where they are walking in the environment, they're doing so with knowledge of what I'm doing as I'm doing it on my phone. So this demon goes and picks up his drink. This is what is the outward appearance for stalking. So they're crossing path, which is stalking. It's relevant positioning. They're crossing path in directed light. That remains inside of the venue. They're doing so after monitoring, literally observing, engaging in, literally sitting down looking over my shoulder, not physically looking over my shoulder, looking at their phone. And this is what I mean. That's what monitoring is, by the way. Engaging in interstate stalking, in other words, on the camera while you see them studying their communication device, they are literally monitoring what I'm doing on my phone. And at the moment that I finish what it is that I'm doing, which is clearing out my phone of documents and like just excess data and whatnot, this minion then crosses path and goes to pick up a drink, goes to the condiments area. This older woman joins him. I'm capturing their images. And you have what is this minion that's standing right here on the opposite side of the bar, monitoring as well. Okay, they're all monitoring as one entity. But I'm providing what is context to the still images. The entirety of the entity is engaging in federal stalking, but I'm breaking down what is also demonic conduct. They are also doing this conduct with regard to the maintenance of what is amplified audible activity. So you have what is the demonic pattern, and this is documentation of a demon-possessed entity. I'm sitting at a table, and you have what is shaking of the table, when all you see is me sitting here. This is demonic, okay? You're talking about what is revealing the reality of demonic activity, the absence of any legal argument for the demon-possessed, who are the people of the state, who are engaging in stalking while this demonic activity is underway. This is the reality of what is the presence of demons who are surrounding, and they are acting in concert and on behalf of what is the government, okay? All of this is combined together. You have what is and this is this is prosecuted as and documented as what is indeed harassment by a demon-possessed entity that is stalking and monitoring with communication devices, okay? And so you have what is the table, which is shaking and moving, all right? While I'm sitting on the table using my phone, it's as though someone is kicking the table. But what you see on surveillance cameras, you just see them walking around, like nobody touching the table, all right? This is, by the way, demonic activity. Okay, so I want to clarify that this is creation of sensational activity. It is also hostility by what are creatures, who are demons, who are psychopaths stalking, studying communication devices, not looking at you, looking the other way, ordering donuts at Dunkin' Donuts, while they're engaging in a pattern of conduct which is entirely demented. All right, you don't have any legal argument with regard to what is the ability to document and prosecute the demonic. And that's exactly what this is. So I want to be clear, this is also speaking to what is the amplified audible activity inside of the venue. And I'm wearing headphones, so this is super amplification, and it is the same exact conduct that's occurring in the library, that's occurring at every venue where I'm at. You were talking about what is loud boom, all right? And what you see on surveillance cameras, demons that are maintaining presence and acting like what it is absolutely not occurring. They're psychopaths. This is in every way revealing the demon possession, the terrorism by the people of the state who are of that condition, demon possession. That is directly relevant to what is that demonic environment that they're in, the demonic environment that they're facilitating while they are pacing around in directed light, which is accomplishing an ongoing molestation as well. The demons, the objective of demons while they are pacing around you in directed light is to touch with light. And that's exactly what they're doing. And you have what is the directed light that is present in the venue while psychopaths are pacing all around, amplified audible activity, which is also occurring to the rhythm. In other words, simultaneously mirroring what it is that I'm doing on my phone, which these demons are monitoring. Okay, so anyway, I just want to break that down. This is capturing what are the psychopaths, and this is the prosecution of the people who are engaging in what is terrorism. All right, it is currently 11:37 a.m. at Dunkin' Donuts at 355 South Mountain Avenue. Let me clarify. In directed light, you are listening to Dunkin' Donuts engaging in the criminal pattern of conduct. That is referred to as audible activity, which, by the way, those demon-possessed employees of this venue are engaging in doing so while they too are paying very close attention, monitoring with the demons who are inside of the venue to order and loiter, literally order and loiter in relevant position, and also while they are using that appearance of their job for the engagement in the elements of monitoring. So I want to be clear, it is currently 11:37 a.m. and this is P.O.C. at Dunkin' Donuts. License 8LID 782-7884709, 8TJJ635, 5BNL 541, 8USK 987, 7PRG 966, 8LBF 616, 7UDS 507, 7PGM 481, 6ZKF 078, 8SXU 319. Yeah, I think I already read that one. 8WLJ 669, 7LIP 260, 8GSE 611, 7LMN 809. These are all demons sitting in the parking lot while directed light is being concentrated on me. That's including 6ZKF 078. This is surveillance in relevant position going into what is the third-party facilitating venue where that demon works, okay? This is the same parking lot where the fake sun remained over the Dunkin' Donuts and set in alignment. And by set, I put that in air quotes. The actual sun is not remaining over a parking lot all day. The engagement of the light source that's over the opposing side of the parking lot, which is in alignment with what is essentially Michael's, the Optima Salon Suites. These demons are walking into those venues now as they are sitting in their cars monitoring with communication devices. And I'm showing you what are pictures of demons that are entering inside of the venue, walking around in directed light, okay? And the entity is engaging in an ongoing flashing, molestation, terrorism with what is directed light. These are demons where that environment is ongoing. All right, 8SXU319. 240HH handicap, 6ASX 630, 7DNX 208, 6UCY 760, 6LQC 563, 8EXV 510, 7VYV 015, 7BTR 128, 7LMN 809, 8TJJ 635, I think, in case I didn't read that one. I think I read those. 7Z81443, but just in case, let me read these. 7LIP260, 7UDS 507, 05124Z2, 8TJJ 635, 5TRP 403, 5SVR 366, 8VBH 124, 330JA, that's handicap. 7XRB 981, K675502, that's an Illinois license plate. 8ABP 902, 8BBZ 022, 5SSU 033, 7YQM 915, CHOFIS 9, 7YHY 756, 7JXL 695, 66759Y2, 8ABP 978, 7FSJ 306, 8VBH 124. I think I read that one. License. Oh yeah, that's the Illinois. I read that one already. 7UEE 417, 8CLF 129, 8ZNW 916, 8NPA 045, 6MQP 484, 8TKF 180, 8NLL 580. 6BDT 749, 6BHM 971, 7EDC 206, 7ZUP 411, 8UAZ 435, 6AVW 761, 9526061, 95260C1, 8GEF 741, 7GPM 913, 6LIC 245, 7TNB 561, 7TDN 867, 7YHB 750,
8UAY268, 77969B1, that's a white van. License 7RYR340. 8WFB490, 8JAU102, 7TUN888, 8MRC930, 6HEK437, 7ZTK363. IYADA1, they're in the drive-thru of Dunkin' Donuts, which is relevant positioning. Maintenance of presence, this is massive surveillance by an entity, a public entity, and a demon-possessed entity. 8NZX632, 6MIW887, 7LSV585. Capturing group stalking by T-Mobile. You can see the minion walking outside. She's got her company jacket on. She's stepping out to stalk in the path. She's monitoring with the minions who I'm capturing images of in the drive-thru of the Dunkin' Donuts. An operation of a communication device while she's doing so. License 4PDN891. This is the T-Mobile inside of the same shopping center of what is Mountain Green. 8LOH334, 8WFB490, 8KUA710. It is currently 1:53 p.m. I just stepped out to document some more license plates. The entity is engaging in an ongoing system of surveillance, ongoing terrorism, ongoing demonic stalking, all right? And it is entirely demented. And so I have thoroughly documented Dunkin' Donuts already, and I will remind you about what is the light activity. This is indeed surveillance by an entity who are both stalking inside and outside, maintaining activity around me while monitoring with communication devices. This is the sex offending entity. This is the demon-possessed entity engaged in terrorism. Let me get this last one. License 8GSF611. Okay, P.O.C. upon exit, you got bathroom monitoring by 4EZH656. Bathroom monitoring by 05298B3. This is a large truck using hazard lights as light activity. 7VDR358. This demon that is sitting in front of the Dunkin' Donuts is engaging in surveillance at the moment that I come out. This is when she gets out of her vehicle. She's doing so. She's crossing path, and she's also anticipating that she's about to be documented. So she's crossing path, by the way. She's also in relevant position stalking while the truck is creating hazard lights. You see her communication device. I took images of this demon. And this sex offender, that's exactly what she is. That's exactly what they're doing. And you have what are the sex offenders of Dunkin' Donuts. And understand this is sexual violence, this is criminal activity, so I'm going to break down what these demons are doing. 8XIL391, license 7ZAF165. So while I am subject to surveillance, and you're understanding the conduct of demons, what they do at the moment that they do it, timing is central. 7ZON083. This is with regard to what is stalking with activity. 8FFW220. 8KXV411. And so you're understanding that and remembering this with regard to the pattern of conduct as that surveillance, that demonic activity is underway inside of a private space. And this is what is so sexually perverted and demented about the demonic entity that is a sex offender. 8EXX533. While you have what are demons, I'm reading license plates. The reality is that the government and all of these third parties together, which spans beyond the Mountain Green Shopping Plaza and the Dunkin' Donuts, this is an unprecedented invasion of privacy. All together at one time, not only engage in interstate commerce, maintaining real-time knowledge as to what is going on inside of the private space. This is an unprecedented sex offense, okay? And it is the perpetual sex offender of the state of California. All right, that's who the entity is engaging in. The entity is acting vicariously, and that's who I'm referencing when I'm speaking to the entity. Dunkin' Donuts engaging in sexual violence, and so you have what is audible activity creation while I am inside of the private space, while my panties are down, while my legs are spread open, while I'm engaged in what is literally wiping myself. You have the simultaneous creation of audible activity, which is achievement of the not only the elements of monitoring. This is the sex offender that is exceeding the purposes of criminal monitoring. Waiting until the moment when I have no communication device in my hand, when my panties are down, when indeed you are monitoring exactly what's going on the internet, on my phone. That is the conduct of the sex offender that also engages in such sexually violent and demented group conduct, which is facilitation. Audible activity is facilitation for every other demon to monitor. The sex offender whose license plate I'm reading with the hazard lights, they are monitoring while Dunkin' Donuts chooses that specific moment to create audible activity, which is amplified inside of the bathroom, okay? This is the sex offender. And this is while you have the demon whose license plate I read. She's sitting in a vehicle, monitoring a communication device, monitoring to this audible activity that Dunkin' Donuts has created. While I'm inside of the private space, this is the sex offender acting on a corporate basis, acting as an entity, okay? And so you have what, again, I want to be clear, this is speaking to what these demons are engaging in as I walk out, and then I identify them by license plate. That's the sexual violence that you are subject to as an entity. As an American citizen subject to the criminal surveillance of a government who's acting in concert with the people of the state. And so you have what is the third party whose license plate I read. They were engaging in light activity in relevant position to me, and I am inside of the private space. That third party drives off, immediately replaced with another one. This is FedEx license 04501P1. Upon my arrival to the venue, I did capture the light source, which is not the sun. It is directly over the Dunkin' Donuts. And I want to be clear, the light source is already established as what is the central key focus to identifying not only understanding to your everyday life, which is what you need to know even outside of prosecuting a demonic entity that is placing you under surveillance in violation of your constitutional human rights. This is the ability to understand what is necessary to know with regard for your own welfare. This is the reality of demonic activity, the reality of demon possession, those who are puppets of Satan, the very liar that Satan is, and the ways in which he is present, literally hovering above you, okay? And it is not the sun. License 6UFT388, stalking in the parking lot, just aiming right toward me as I walk in a particular direction. And so I want to be clear, the light source is over the Dunkin' Donuts. And again, like I spoke out this morning as I was speaking to this, if that was the actual sun as I captured on February 6th at 9:02 in the morning, okay, that is a long time to remain over what is stationary, the 325 West G Street venue. And it's only over 325 because that's where the car that I'm inside of is parked in front of. If it's parked in front of 621 North Fern, that's where the fake sun's going to be, right over me. If it's parked in front of 403 West G Street, it's parked in front of what is 630 North Fern, that's where the fake sun's going to be, right over me. And at 9:02 a.m., there would be no such light source over those venues. You would not be able to see what I've captured in video. Your eyes to witness what is a light source moving in real time, literally street for street, turn for turn, as I leave from that venue of the people of the state at that intersection of G Street and Fern Avenue. If that was the case, then it would not be, meaning if that was the actual sun already documented over the venue of Dunkin' Donuts where it was today upon my arrival at 10:11 a.m., then I would not be able to capture it as I have on every other day. And so based on the nature of what you're documenting, this, which is not the actual sun, and this is already established, and that light source is directly over the venue as I arrive while I'm reading license plates of what are demons who are in that demonic environment. This is Satan itself that is present as you are witnessing it through that environment that is following me around while you are subject to the criminal conduct of an entity who is a violent sex offender creating an ongoing soundtrack to what they are listening to you doing in a bathroom while your panties are down. The perpetual sex offender also molesting with light. License 7TTN310. That is the demonic pattern. That is a sexually violent pattern of the entity, all right? This is also that demonstration of demon possession. They are engaging in what is surveillance in the bathroom, and that is facilitated by the company Dunkin' Donuts, 8KUA710. FedEx arriving, engaging in what is waging an ongoing threat. FedEx, heavily documented company engaging in state surveillance and terrorism, and engaging in that ongoing criminal determination for which they shall be prosecuted of engaging in surveillance and facilitating that surveillance with an entity. FedEx is a violent sex offender, already having been documented, literally molesting me. With what is directed light, documented this in 2021 along with Amazon Prime, 8EOS584. Recall my documentation of at Ontario Village, where you are looking at eyes remain for the duration of the day, okay? Documenting what is not the sun that remains over my head in the city of Ontario at the Ontario Village Shopping Plaza, specifically right outside of what is the Panda Walk. And the fake sun's right over my head. FedEx stalking at that venue, FedEx molesting with what is directed light. The same with Amazon Prime. The same criminal determination documented as it is engaged in by a company identified acting on behalf of a government engaged in state surveillance and sexual violence, Amazon Prime. Under the fake sun, indeed, yesterday, right before the 5 o'clock hour at the intersection of Arrow Highway and Sierra Avenue. And this is the significance of that ongoing documentation. This company, FedEx, stalking at what is the GNC, monitoring with GNC. They are all under the fake sun, and this is the absence of any legal argument. There is no form, and this is what I mean. In addition to what you are literally understanding demonic activity, you don't have any legal argument, and it is the ability to prosecute that which is of the supernatural, of the demonic, in a court of law. Okay, I want to be clear. FedEx and GNC companies engaging in surveillance and terrorism together and facilitating that amongst the people of the state who are stalking in the parking lot. All right, they're stalking, sitting around in relevant position on the roads and the highways, monitoring together, okay, while they are here around me, concentrating activity, and have been doing so for a prolonged period. Not just FedEx. FedEx represents the people. You have one demon after another, engaging in the same pattern. It's currently 5:41 p.m. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, capturing the images of that stalking third party, identifying what is a company, subjecting that company, exposing that company to that prosecution, because that's exactly what is underway. Again, that's FedEx license plate 04501P1. Replacing the other third party with another truck, you just have another face engaging in the same pattern. You have another demon just facing lights onto the surface. That is the building of Dunkin' Donuts, 7XAX710, stalking in the path. Okay, license 7YSW631, 5TID394, 8TJJ635, 8JGF036, 7SJT315. 7YSW631 is molesting, 8ZPV093, in case I didn't read that one. 02681D3, 8KXV411, 1U8 7B4. So I want to be clear again, when you're documenting and prosecuting, this is for this is informational with regard to as you're witnessing me prosecute and document a government, and it's for your informational purposes. You are understanding what is very real, stalking with an entire environment, and it is out of the pit of hell. All right, so this is prosecuting what is that which is of Satan in a federal court. 8DQW474. All right, and so this is relevant to what the things that I'm describing to you, the entity engaging in what is harassment. You're going to prosecute that as harassment and the terrorism that these demons are engaging in. Demons acting on behalf of a government who are puppets of Satan themselves, engaging in this satanic targeting system, telling you also as a false narrative that it is global warming and climate change. But again, what my documentation is speaking to and is revealing has absolutely nothing in global warming, climate change. It's absolutely not approaching what is blatant impossibility of a light source remaining on a single corner over a building all day long, as I have documented. That is, global warming and climate change is in no way addressing that, and it is impossible to address because it is that which is antithetical to the very definition of the sun, the light source itself. It is no explanation for what is the intensification. That theory with regard to global warming is not addressing what is the key issue with regard to the remaining of a light source. But yet, and that's over me. This is documentation that everybody would have to deal with. You can't confront it. You can't address it. Because while it's remaining over me, you're talking about what is a light source that's in another state. All right, 7XAX710 is just a demon that aim light on the surface, stalking in the path, monitoring with FedEx, monitoring with GNC. Okay, this is the totality of that entity acting together, and then just crossing the path. Alrighty, hold on one second. Alrighty, capturing this demon, monitoring with GNC. This demon is associated with FedEx, monitoring me while my panties are down, not distinct from that sexually violent pattern of conduct. 84251M2. Let me make sure that's correct. So I want to be clear, going to GMC is a third-party facilitating venue, and replacing what is another third party, which is a system, by the way. 84251M2. Yeah, that's correct. Just want to make sure that's correct. So I did capture what is the company acting via a third party. This is, excuse me, the public entity, the state of California, acting via third party FedEx. So I did capture the images of not only the GNC employee. They're monitoring inside their the fake sun is directly over the building. The roof is shared over Dunkin' Donuts and GMC. It is a third-party facilitating venue. When you're getting past what is merely means of identification, you are documenting one. This is literally Satan itself. Satan is acting through a government. Satan cannot hide through any government. Satan can't hide through any company. Satan can't hide through any individual. All right, and that's literally what you're documenting. ARNH589 is nothing but a demon-possessed stalker. Okay, and so you were talking about what are literally vessels. All right, and you're going to burst those vessels. You can literally trample them in federal court as you document and prosecute for objective criminal conduct. Okay, and so like I was stating, the documentation that I have provided is that which is impossible to confront. You cannot address it. All right, and you cannot reduce it either. 8ZM I'm sorry, 8ZNT380. And it is that which is in direct opposition to everything that you are told about, everything that you understand about what is the light source, as it's so called. All right. 7XAX710. It just returns back to the entrance area. This is a demon that's pacing and turns on their hazards. Okay. License 8SCM713. This is light activity. This is stalking in the path. This is entirely demonic. I want to be clear. 8SHN842. These are demons who are pacing, monitoring to the hazards light, but it's light activity. They're monitoring together. 7WLZ959. Alrighty, this is a fat white female monitoring, engaging in terrorism using her hazards. 7XAX710. She's pacing back and forth to the entrance and then to the driveway of the, excuse me? What? You can say whatever you want. You're creating light activity, honey. You don't have a legal argument and you are talking to the wrong one. I suggest you take your demented, crazy self that way. Because you're over here engaging in a pattern of conduct and you can't address it. You cannot address it.
Yes, I can.
You're speaking on behalf of an entity too. You're an ignoramus. I suggest you shut your face. This is P.O.C. It's license 7XAX710, and I captured this demon's images. All right, that's harassment by an entity, an ignorant one. License 8VZE849. That's literally Satan being a stalker and documented as such. Let me be clear. The entity speaking to you, saying anything to you when you are documenting, and the American citizens will be documenting literally the government that's placing you under surveillance. Anything that they say to you is grounds for that intensified prosecution. Any and everything that they're saying, because they're being documented and they know they're being documented, and there is anything while you're engaging in that P.O.C. and then you want to engage in addressing them as though you are exercising any right to stalk on behalf of the government, which you're not. You can be on the job. Dunkin' Donuts doesn't have any right to be there. They're not on the job. They're in relevant position. 8SRW532. All right. And so, like I said, I'm speaking to what is an ignorant person, a psychopath. This is Satan that I'm encountering. And I am giving her actually legal advice while I am also letting her down. You need to shut your face, because I'm literally going to prosecute for every syllable that comes out of her mouth while she's in directed light, while she's monitoring with companies. Not only you're engaging in what is psychotic conduct, she's pacing around creating light activity. License 7PYB645. You are engaging in what is the conduct of what is terrorism. This is how the people of the state engage in terrorism. I'm waiting for, I don't care what their explanation is. It doesn't matter. This is how the pattern of conduct exists, by the way. This is exactly how it exists, because you're not supposed to know about the fake sun that's over their head while they're ordering pizza. All right. You're not supposed to notice the triple shadows all around while they're baking that pizza. 8YCR179. Whatever it is that they're doing. And that's the guise of what's supposed to be normalcy. But there is no guise. There is no guise there. And there never was. You're talking about what is a matter of pointing out that which is a matter of common sense when you pay attention, and then you see the psychopath. And that psychopath saying anything to you, you document it. And that's why I'm also using a podcast, because you're going to learn. Satan is going to shut its mouth. Satan is going to be silent, and it's going to take that prosecution, and anything you say, you're going to make it even worse, and you very well end up in what is federal prison. The government placing you under surveillance is a threat to your life. The government wants to engage in what is obstructing justice. This is exactly what I've documented, and there is a zero tolerance with regard to that. Any and everything that you are saying, in other words, this is essentially what the government is forced to do, to be silent while it's being documented. You're caught, you're going to be documented. It's a necessity. You will be documented, and anything that you do to try to obstruct that, even uttering any word, is going to be used against you, and in a very serious manner. Okay. And you're not only speaking for, you're speaking for a whole entity. This entity, the fact pattern here, the people in the state are going to be prosecuted for kidnapping. They are kidnappers, and they are perpetual sex offenders. This is the fact pattern as I have documented it. This is conduct on behalf of an entity. Every ignoramus that is opening their mouth, that is stalking, and then you're being documented, you're a psychopath sex offender, and then you have the nerve to talk to me about it. I don't think so. And that is a matter of policy. All right. I'm not just being sassy. That is a matter of necessity. The government's going to shut its face. Satan has, because that's literally what you're encountering, and you are silencing Satan. You are disarming that entire arsenal of psychopaths who think that they can bully you. That's what this is about. Okay. The government, legally, this is referred to under the law to intimidate, to harass, to injure. This is what Title 18 speaks of. 851844, I believe it's essentially similar. And so you're talking about what is entirely disarming that. Okay. Let me get this demon stalking in the parking lot. They're just sitting around in the parking lot with their headlights on. 7VDR358. Enterprise rental car. crossing path in the parking lot while demons are just sitting around with their lights on. This is stalking in the path. 8TCK813, 7JDR367. And this one over here, license 8ZTY233. It is not different than the fat white demon who is pacing back and forth using her hazards, then doing so, and I got close-ups of that disgusting creature. That is a stalker, literally a demon. This is what that thing is doing with its life, and it's pathetic. And then you have what is entirely pathetic. You are, when I say caught, you're talking about what's already established, and this is why you're going to end up in what are what are the proper facilities for dealing with such loose delusional psychopaths. That's what you are approaching when you're dealing with the demon possessed. 7ZHD034. This is a delusional psychopath. I'm waiting for my coffee. You are entirely surrounded with evidence. Everything you're saying is audible activity. It has no other meaning, no other significance, nothing. You don't have a legal argument. That is long gone. You never had it in the first place. You're talking about what was my starting at the outset of documentation. You're going to have to accumulate that documentation, okay? But you never had it. You're talking about what is a process in order to get to a definite end, all right? So you're dealing with a delusional psychopath, and that is terrorism while you want to engage in communicating hostility. I don't care. And the law is not going to treat you any less seriously with regard to your creation of additional audible activity while you're threatening the life of another, because that's what criminal monitoring is on behalf of the government. So you want to engage in that and have a conversation? Be my guest. Be my guest. This is license 7XAX. This is the same white-faced demon? Is that her? Yes, it is. 7XAX. 710, and I'm glad she is. I want to document that. She's pacing around in the building. She's not acting by herself. She's monitoring with the rest of the people. I want to be clear, this psychopath is listening to me document about her. And while you're listening, honey, I want you to know I'm going to prosecute you, and I'm going to use you as an example. 6ZOS048 is harassing in concert with that third party, by the way. 7XAX170 is not monitoring and stalking and harassing as an individual. She's doing so as an entity. 6CCF329. And this hostile, demon-possessed stalker that's engaging in terrorizing, pacing about like a psychopath with light, all right? Everything that they are doing is not a mystery. The jig is up, all right? So you're blatantly engaging in what is terrorism and doing so in plain sight. That's also, again, exacerbating a federal prosecution as a terrorist, all right? So I want to be clear. You are monitoring one who is documenting it. That's directly relevant to whatever facility is mandated based on the pattern of conduct as you have been engaged in it. Monitoring an American citizen, 6XJG105. And monitoring an American citizen is that which is direct evidence. The pattern of conduct itself is revealing what is your secret, which is no longer a secret. You are a demon, a very dangerous, very, very dangerous person. 7REY049. 7KDJ865, 7EKZ286, BN609, that's handicap. And so my point is, this fat white-faced demon who's engaging in terrorism, she is monitoring me while my panties are down, engaging in stalking, engaging in that psychopath conduct, sitting around aiming light onto surfaces, 8LAD624, aiming light onto surfaces, pacing all around while ongoing noise is created while my panties are down. This is the sex offender that then wants to harass while you are documenting the fact that they are a stalker. Okay? License 55710E2. 6ABU057 75597E3. 8TZS 293. 75597F3 molesting. And it is 5:56 p.m. 8DEH153, 7TXH400, 8PPN503, 7WXD922, 8CKH883, 8DKB354, license 6SCT485, 12777G3, 8WRM785, molesting IXF268, that's the Iowa, 8KWN093. You have another demon stalking in the path using their hazard lights as light activity. This is the demonic pattern. All right, let me be clear. It is currently 5:56 still. Let me get this license plate. 7PKJ539, HAZ Heart ALE. 7AQL554, 7UPK520. Not only is this terrorism, all right, you were talking about what are demons that engage in this conduct everywhere you go. This is exactly what I documented as I went to Los Angeles, as I went to Orange County. 6WIH924, 7CQX080, 8YKF122. It is not only terrorism, as you are aware of what are following conduct, stalking by people you don't know, and they engage in the most peculiar conduct of using light, and most often using vehicles and turning on their hazards everywhere that I go, no matter where I was walking or driving, everywhere, okay? License plate, 6XJG105, and by everywhere, I mean not just every place, but I mean when I'm walking down the street, down a side street, no matter how late it is, someone will immediately turn on a method of light, all right? It is maintaining that presence around with that method of light activity at all times and at all places. This is terrorism, and it is also most relevantly criminal facilitation of federal group stalking and monitoring. Federal group stalking and monitoring is what is state surveillance and terrorism, all right? It's entirely demonic. The demon possessed are engaging in, the government is engaging in stalking in the path, all right? Maintaining presence in your path in every direction, surrounding you, in other words, at all times. All right. You are doing so while you are also maintaining light around the path at all times. This is what the people of the state are doing. 6YVV605. And this is criminal facilitation. That are the same demons that you heard amplifying plane engines. That's American Medical Response. Monitoring with 8ELL490. Monitoring with license 8Y37077. Okay. American Medical Response, again, engaged in a pattern of kidnapping. Engaged in criminal defamation, and showing that ongoing criminal determination to continue surveillance while they're monitoring the documentation. 8LPD 066. That's American Medical Response. 8JFV430. That's facilitating conduct. These demons are walking around with multiple shadows, and while they are crossing path, monitoring with a demon that's driving an ambulance. So you're hearing sirens. That's plane engines that were over my head just now, and also about 20, not 20 minutes ago, but approximately 2 minutes ago, all right, while I'm talking, and while I was describing the hazard lights and the pattern of stalking in the path, such as 8ELL490, and the fat white-faced demon that is licensed 7XAX170. All right, this is the pattern, and this is terrorism while demons are stalking all around. They're group stalking, and doing so with light. This is the one that has double shadows. She's monitoring with American Medical Response. Those are the elements of monitoring, by the way. 7RGC858, GERMEX, 8BHL030, 8RDG555, 6UXL884, PFM2343, that's Texas, 7DMX509, and molesting is this demon back here. This is license 8NHZ811. 7DMX509, 4BQN796, 7YNJ327, 8KWU076, 5EMG621. And I want to be clear again, you're understanding what is an ongoing continuous pattern of conduct. American Medical Response, a kidnapper, 8FVC539, a kidnapper, heavy duty stalker, engaged in what is monitoring. They are the same entity, monitoring and stalking with audible activity while my panties are down, while my legs are spread open, which is exceeding monitoring with communication devices. It is demonic activity. This demonic activity is always underway, including when inside of any private space, while interstate stalking, which is the criminal objective of this demonic activity. All right, this ritualistic stalking with light, stalking with noise, and stalking in the path. 8ZIY233, this is the demon that was aiming light in the parking lot, monitoring the entire time with American Medical Response. And as you hear the plane engines, that's called surveillance. 8WRM785, this is another demon that's pacing, and they are all in directed light. That's why I'm able to capture what is this demon that's walking by while sirens are sounding, and this demon has multiple shadows. This is an impossible, a natural and impossible environment. It's a demonic environment. 7YNJ327. And I read this license plate already. Monitoring with the hazard lights, 7AQL554. It's facilitation of an entire entity to be able to monitor you while the government's stalking by aircraft, the government's stalking by emergency vehicles, right? It's currently 6:01 p.m. Let me go get another one. You just have a line of demons that engage in more. They're all lining up on the side, you creating hazard lights. This is license plate 6SDL504. Alrighty, engaging in more of the same. This is what Satan does. As I say a name, for example, identify a company. It's not a coincidence, especially in directed light and under the fake sun, etc., as they engage in that. And so as I'm identifying what is that demonic pattern of what is stalking in the path with light, yes, it is a pattern that they are always engaging in, but the demons engage in replicating it as I speak of it. So you have a line, AELL490, stalking in the path, while there is ample parking spaces. But let me be clear, even if it's a full parking lot, a jam-packed one, this is stalking in the path with light, okay? Directed light, stalking by the government directly, stalking vicariously, stalking with light, demonic. License 6SDL504, you can see another white-faced demon. This is a male. Looks like a little prepubescent peon. He's pathetic, stalking with a little girl in the vehicle, stalking with hazard lights. And I captured that sex offender's image. 7SXT304, he's driving license 6SDL504, and he creates more light activity parking behind the demon with license AELL490, who's creating facilitating light activity. Okay, license 499050. That is license DLR99050. The little letters DLR, those are small letters, and then it's 99050. License plate YNYGO. They are all monitoring with this facilitating conduct by American Medical Response, by the state, flying over by aircraft, over by the way, this is the parking lot of Mountain Green, where the entity is hovering over me by airplanes. 7GOF485, monitoring with the entity. 8LWB165, 8LPD066, 5FBT912. And this is why the people of the state are going to federal prison, engaging in terrorism and harassment while the government is stalking by helicopter, threatening your life. You utter anything and you will be going to federal prison. 61184E2. All right, the government is speaking through third parties, and the government is going to be silenced and engaging in literally providing that documentation against third parties who are stalking in the vehicle in a dark parking lot. 7JFN513. Alrighty, and what you see in the image that I just captured, first of all, this demon inside of the vehicle who's stalking, the entity flies over by helicopter. I took an image of what is standing behind this demon who's stalking in the parking lot, driving a Mustang, license 7JFN513. And by the way, this demon immediately creates light inside of the vehicle as I take a picture. That's stalking with activity. But nonetheless, what you see is the entity flying over this building inside of the parking lot. You'll see on top of the building, you'll see the white light. That's the helicopter. All right, stalking in the path with this demon, again, license 7JFN513. This is indeed a demon manifesting light at the moment that I capture an image, knowing exactly what I'm doing, and stalking. Also, this is indicated by that ongoing directed light. 8XLB749, it is also indicated by the stalking conduct by the state. All right, these are puppets of Satan stalking an American citizen by helicopter, federal prison. Okay, third parties such as this one that I'm reciting, stalking in a parking lot, speaking in concert with 7XAX170. They're acting as an entity, speaking as an entity, all right, while you're engaging in that unprecedented life-threatening criminal activity. 8LJF360. That is what is relevant about an ignoramus opening their mouth. License 8LPD066 looks like a serial killing stalker. Staring, listening to me, listen to me, I'm documenting you, I'm going to publish you, I'm going to publish your information, and you're a sex offender. Listening to me and monitoring me while my panties are down, all right? 5FBT912, stalking in a dark parking lot, monitoring with the demons who are creating light activity, maintaining their hazard lights on, okay? This is conduct of an entity, and this is demonic. Alrighty, it is currently 6:06 p.m., 8LPD066. Alrighty, and again, that demon driving 8ELL490, this is a white woman with long hair. She's got on blue jeans, tennis shoes, a t-shirt, dark gray, dark blue t-shirt, monitoring, and this is Upland PD, license 1441349, wanting to be a distraction. They're not. I will document, and you're talking about prosecuting 8ELL490. They're an entity monitoring together, engaging in sexual violence together. While the state is flying over by helicopter, this is what you understand about the Upland Police Department, by the way. 6:06 p.m. This is, again, 1441349, vehicle number 222, license 8ELL490. Hello.
How are you?
How am I? What do you mean?
I'm asking.
Why?
Just got a call out here on you.
About what?
People were concerned about you.
About what?
Well, they said that you were walking around the parking lot and that you were...
A lot of people are walking around the parking lot.
I know, let me finish. They
Go
said
ahead.
that you were walking around the parking lot and that you were recording people.
Recording people. Who am I recording?
I'm just
Recording somebody driving in their car?
Ma'am, I'm just telling you why I'm here. That's all. I got a call, so I got to.
Yeah, I'm asking you. You got a call, and so I'm asking you, recording what?
Recording people.
I know. What people?
Ma'am, are you a victim of a crime? You need any help from us?
First of all, this is criminal summoning. What's your name? Hanley?
Yeah.
What's your badge number, Hanley?
2401.
2401?
You need any help from the police?
2401, you said? Okay. What's your name? Vanderbilt? What's your badge number, Vanderbilt? 3194. Okay, so all I want to know is you were called out here because I'm engaged in absolutely lawful conduct. Nothing that you were saying is warranting your presence. You didn't come to help. You're here asking questions, talking about you got a call, which is very vague. Thank you, Vanderbilt and Hanley. That's criminal summoning and terrorizing threat, monitoring with 8ELL 490. This is P.O.C. License 1561122. Vanderbilt is driving that, and Hanley is driving 1441349. This is classic P.O.C. for what is criminal summoning. All right, monitoring with 8ELL 490. Alrighty, calling, we got a call. You got a call while you are speaking vaguely with regard to whoever you got a call from. It's a third party, and a third party engaging in what is criminal summoning. Let me be clear, these demons don't even have to call law enforcement. Law enforcement is already monitoring. Need I remind you, seconds ago, the entity just got through flying over by helicopter. All right, are you talking about you got a call and that's why you're flying over the parking lot because someone is alleging that I'm recording someone? Is that why you're flying over by helicopter? Or is it the ordinary pattern of conduct, which I have a history of documenting, and you have Upland Police making what is a show terrorizing threat while they're monitoring the fact that I'm documenting the people of the state of California, which you are not going to stop. You're talking about what is federal prison. Let me document. 8ELL 490, 7XAX 170. Don't forget that demon, that's harassing. 8LLU 484, 8VJB 117. Engaging in criminal summoning is that which is grounds for federal prison. Okay, so I want to be clear. While you are engaging in the pattern of conduct, which this is exactly what the people of the state are doing, and engaging in what is presence while upon criminal summoning by the people of the state, which is again the representation of law enforcement who are demons in directed light. Okay, monitoring while they are present to engage in harassment and audible activity creation in relevant position. That entire scenario is the pattern of conduct. By the way, while they are using what are puppets of Satan, the third parties themselves as the forum. But I want to be clear, 7XAX 170, you can document, this is the third party engaging in what is harassment, monitoring with license plate. This is 7NHW 278. She appears to be some sort of official, maybe a security guard, perhaps law enforcement. I can't see her badge, but she is stalking in the path and she's monitoring to the facilitating conduct of 8ELL 490. License 7UXM 132. N454SO. Let me be clear. Vanderbilt and Hanley are engaging in the classic textbook for what is the P.O.C. Let me be clear. An ordinary American citizen is easily kidnapped while what is in an illegal escalation. It is absolutely illegal. You're under surveillance, and they don't even have a right to. You're talking about absolute illegitimacy. You're talking about exercise of fictitious authority while you are the criminal placing another under surveillance. Okay, so let's start there. But first of all, let me be clear. This is classic textbook, and this is the grounds for what is engaging in kidnapping. When you are engaging in criminal summoning, and then you are arriving pursuant to criminal summoning, and I want to be clear. You're talking about asking questions. They are not here to help. They are monitoring me as they speak, asking me, and the ordinary target individual that does not know how to address what are demons who are engaging in criminal conduct, the details of which they might not even be sure about, they might not even know, and are intentionally and understandably 8VBH124, understandably petrified, okay, because law enforcement is engaging in a pattern, by the way, of addressing them. Let me get this demon real quick. Hold on. Alrighty, this is the minion engaging in prolonged facilitation, 8ELL 490, an operation of a communication device. You can see my shadows, which are on polar opposite sides of me. This demon that is walking, which is crossing path, as she's walking to her vehicle, which she is using as a means of light activity, which is where, by the way, Upland Police are talking to me. This is the pattern of conduct. 8ELL 490 is monitoring with Upland Police while she is creating light activity. Let me be clear on that. As I captured this demon walking to her vehicle, she's in operation of her communication device. This is the same one that I was describing. She's got the long ponytail. She's starting her ignition. She's been engaged in prolonged facilitation and loitering. This is surveillance and facilitation at the same time. And I want to be clear, you're talking about what is prosecution for engaging in criminal summoning. 8ELL 490. License 712766Z1. This is essentially understanding what is an attempt to engage in a kidnapping, because that's exactly what law enforcement, that's the entire purpose while you're placing one under surveillance. 6GFH599, and that is again 8ELL490, engaging in what is facilitation, engaging in what is monitoring with law enforcement, and that is an attempt to engage in kidnapping. But for the ability to literally address, I'm prosecuting and I'm also documenting and informing. A criminal summoning is an intent to engage in kidnapping, okay? You are talking about what is the ongoing pattern of conduct, while then you are present claiming ignorance. Oh, we just got a call, we just want to find out what's going on. They're monitoring. Okay, they're doing so under the fake sun. They're doing so in directed light. They're doing so upon amplified audible activity. The entity just got through flying over by helicopter. This is why you document. And then you have what are the straight-faced demons of the Upland Police Department already documented. Okay, Officer Turner under the fake sun. This is a demon-possessed agency. You don't forget what's documented already. LANDS 88. Officer Turner and his partner engaging in terrorism, bearing weapons, which these police officers are as well, while they're engaged in surveillance and terrorism of one who is documenting it, which they know, posing a terrorizing threat with third parties whose license plate I recited. And I captured that demon's images. You see her walking in directed light. I am being molested with directed light. Upland police are monitoring to me while she's creating that light activity for a prolonged period. I am being molested and terrorized while the state flies over by helicopter. And then you have what are demons of the Upland Police Department approach, just like the same asinine Ontario Police Department. I mean, you're talking about what is literally the prosecution for what is, you want to arrive pursuant to criminal summoning. This is an attempt to engage in harassment, engage in kidnapping. Okay, it exceeds. That's not an attempt to harass. That is harassment. This is an attempt to engage in kidnapping. The escalation of a non-situation. And let me be clear, non-situation with regard to their legal grounds. They don't have any. They're the criminal. You are going to document. You want to engage in harassment and pursuant to criminal summoning. While I'm documenting, I literally identified all ththose who are going to be prosecuted as engaging in an attempted kidnapping. That's exactly what criminal summoning is about. 7DZM 7UXM132. That's exactly what that's about. You're not hiding behind anonymity. 6HJN282. This is indeed the pattern of conduct, and this is an entity that is, again, adding on another federal charge of what is attempted kidnapping. All right, after having engaged in a pattern of kidnapping, the people of the state ceaselessly engaged in the pattern of conduct while kidnapped by the sheriff and the police and the court. 6JJS502, and I will be reminding you about those license plates of those third parties documented. Upland Police group stalking in the parking lot while directed light is manifesting. It remains. Hanley and Vanderbilt just go to the opposite side of the same parking lot, stalking in the path. 8TTU716, monitoring with Upland Police. Okay, license 75151U2. 8KWN093. And let me also give you a dose of common sense. Nothing that I am doing other than what is walking around, holding my phone, as far as you know, if you weren't but for a demon-possessed stalker who was monitoring me, nothing that I'm doing is standing out, okay? I'm holding my phone. As far as you know, I'm talking on my phone. I'm walking in the parking lot, so is every other demon who was stalking, sitting in their vehicles in the parking lot. That's tantamount to walking. What's the difference? It's absolutely legal. And I just want to be clear. You're talking about, first of all, the exercise of fictitious authority, presence pursuant to what is criminal summoning. I remain molested with directed light. The entity is stalking by helicopter and American Medical Response sounding sirens. You're talking about what is an attempt to engage in what is obstruction of justice. You want to deter me from documenting. You want to wage a communicative threat and engage in what is kidnapping. 7XNH259. This is the goal of law enforcement. This is the purpose for approaching one who you are placing under surveillance. The pattern of conduct does not stop. While you're listening to that right now, the pattern of conduct is underway. So you're talking about what is the ordinary target individual who is very likely terrified, who is engaging in what is feeling as though they are being intimidated, they are being surrounded, they are approached with and confronted with very vague and ambiguous false allegations. While you are trying to enforce your own rights, okay? Everything about this is malicious, everything. You're dealing with demons, all right? And so you are talking about what is easily turning into, capable of turning into, which I have already documented before, an escalation, all right? Literally, as the Ontario Police Department have done, literally just seizing your person. This is a kidnapping while you're engaged in surveillance, by the way. Seizing your person and then making up a charge, making it up. Kidnapping you and then just taking you to another place that's dropping. That's a kidnapping. It's harassment, it's obstruction of justice. Law enforcement, again, having no legitimacy whatsoever. You remain subject to surveillance. You're present pursuant to criminal summoning. This is the people engaging in what is an ongoing attempt to engage in kidnapping. 75597F3 included. 06047M1 8MXW045. 7LWD311. This is exactly, and it is necessary as a matter of justice to treat an entity like this. You have you listen to what the Upland Police Department says. Oh, we got a call. That is so vague. Okay. And they're liars. They are liars. They're an entity acting as one. They say they got a call. They will make up circumstances such in order to establish whatever lies that they are uttering at the time. Okay. And every utterance is audible activity, by the way. Like I said, you're dealing with Satan. Satan is a liar. And you're also dealing with confronted with what are very ambiguous. You got a call from who? And then for what? All right. So you're forced into this encounter, this confrontation with ones who are literally hostile to the fact that you're documenting them. Okay. Which you have every right to do. They don't have a right to surveil you. They know exactly who I am. Okay. They know exactly what it is that I'm doing, and it is in violation of no law, and it shall be necessary with regard to the prosecuting a government that's placing you under surveillance. And like I said, every third party, every commercial actor, that includes FedEx, that includes American Medical Response. You are talking about what is an attempted kidnapping, which is what I just documented right now. That's exactly what I'm documenting. That's exactly what they're going to be prosecuted for. License 6VFE446. The entity has an issue. They like to engage in this sort of harassment while you're documenting. I'm going to document you, and I'm gonna prosecute you for that. You're not getting out of it. And Satan has a very hard head though. Okay. 7XFW843. You're talking about the most violent sex offender. You're talking about the most obsessed stalker. You're talking about the most psychopath criminal who engages in every effort in order to try to avoid. You're not avoiding it. If we were avoiding, let me be clear, I would not have already established the fact that that is not the sun over my head day in and day out. We are not at this juncture for naught. Okay. So let me just let you know what is I'm going to tell you again, like I said, the end result, Satan loses. Satan already lost. Okay, so what the entity is doing to me, it is serving for what is the creation of legislation. The government is engaging, which are puppets of Satan. You're prosecuting a government, but you're dealing with demonic activity. You're prosecuting a government, but you're dealing with demonic activity. Satan likes to engage in, and Satan intends to engage in, obstructing the enforcement of your own constitutional rights. You have seen this through the documentation. That's the very pattern of conduct. All right, that's inherent. That's built in. Okay, so while you are understanding and witnessing every method of that same iteration of obstruction of justice, of harassment, all right, you're talking about what is the understanding the necessity for that very policy that I have already advocated and presented. In it, because interstate stalking does not, by interstate stalking, I'm referencing the federal stalking statute, Title 18, Section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2, which does not address the fact that a government, not just a group of weirdos who are stalking somebody's ex-girlfriend together. No, this is a government that is monitoring in concert with a people. This is surveillance, okay? And doing it in unprecedented manners, using company names. The government is using companies. The government is using entities. The government is using every person around, every single last one. HUJ 149. And even beyond that, you're talking about what is rooted in demonic conduct. It's demonic. All right. And this is how you have this camaraderie. This is how you have this ongoing systematic ability to engage in identical conduct. Identical. Because you're dealing with not only an entity with regard to the prosecution of a government, you're dealing with an entity that is demonic. You're dealing with Satan. Okay. This is understanding the malicious. This is how evil is addressed under the law. Malice. The malicious. That's what criminal summoning is about. That's what you just witnessed again with regard to the Upland Police Department, who are monitoring me, who are present to engage in what is harassing me while I'm documenting, and I'm going to document you. So what am I documenting now? Now I'm going to document and I'm going to prosecute for what is an attempted kidnapping. And that is reasonably construed as that threat while law enforcement is documenting, engaging in a pattern of stalking, in a pattern of what is harassment, in a pattern of what is kidnapping. All right. And criminal defamation. This is the totality of that documentation. That is reasonably construed as that threat. That's what else are you there for? All right. Because you're not there pursuant to any legal right. All right. You're there pursuant to what is an ongoing pattern of conduct. I'm subject to that pattern of conduct while you're there, giving me whatever reason for why you're there. I'm subject to that ongoing pattern of conduct. You're engaging in criminal activity while you're there, pursuant to what is criminal summoning by criminals who I am documenting. All right, this is an attempted kidnapping and very likely to result in that it's an unlawful threat. All right, and this is the pattern of conduct by the government that seeks to obstruct justice, to silence, to oppress, to harass, to terrorize, to kidnap. To kidnap is to suppress and silence. Okay, so I want to be clear. 44785J2, 8TNP060, 5YCW448, 5TUN 027, 8BRK124, 5MBN7468BZS. I'm sorry, 8BZS813, 8PQW977, 5DBM115, 8FSA465, 6GLT036, 8VQC958, ALANTR, and Upland Police remains in relevant position in the parking lot, where I'm capturing images of that demon who was engaged in prolonged facilitation with hazard lights. And I'm showing you what is my shadow that's on polar opposites of way to my left and way to my right, and this demon that's crossing path, whose license plate I recited, has double shadows while she's walking by. This is the ongoing pattern of conduct, and the Upland Police Department not only present pursuant to what is an admission of criminal summoning. Okay, because what are they going to say? Oh, we're here because we knew you were here. No, they're going to say, oh, someone called us. You know, we got a call, and they can say anything. To say that you know that I'm here is to admit that you're stalking. Let me be clear. To say that you got a call by a third party is to admit that you're stalking. They're an entity. So you're getting past that jigsaw puzzle piece. They're an entity. It's not separate. It's a superficial separation. There is no separation. They are one entity. And that is an admission of criminal summoning, and that's an attempted kidnapping by the people of the state who are engaging in the pattern of conduct. License 8MSC881, 36352T1 molesting, 7U25313, 8YJT067, 7MUZ788. The entity just got through flying over me by helicopter. I mean, this is why. Okay. Anyway, license 8YZT968. I read that one. Let me get this. License 6VHK028, and this is the same entity stalking at nightfall where I sleep. 8RFR940. This same directed light, aiming inside of a vehicle, terrorizing, stalking, molesting at all hours of the night. 5JVB484, 3DYA097. And BTEE hand JF, it's like a hand on their license plate. AL15161 paper. PRSDAD. 8YGK293, I believe. And it is 6:24 p.m. 8YDC571. Like I said, relevant positioning exceeds beyond this parking lot inside of Mountain Green. As a Mountain Square is across the street in relevant position. Okay, Mountain Square includes Hobby Lobby, Staples, Crunch Fitness, the Ono Hawaiian Barbecue. I've already documented this venue. I showed you what is the fake sun through the windows inside of the Ono Hawaiian Barbecue. I showed you what is directed light flashing. I mean, oh my goodness. This is the pattern of conduct. I've documented this venue already. And you have what is right in relevant position across the street. Okay, so this is a massive operation by a government, and you're understanding all the ways in which the government is not only engaging in this criminal conduct, but then also engaging in what is relevant to harassment, what's relevant to ongoing terrorism, while demons, because this is their condition, while they're stalking, all right, and molesting, 8MSZ037, while demons are engaging in trying to obstruct your enforcement of your rights, 8KLD875, and it's not going down. All right, and I'm speaking in the vernacular. That is not going to succeed. 6TYC016, CA56U58 paper, 8ZDY863, AC04N58 paper, 6UAF591, 7LYS392, 8RIN135, 7JBL 716, 7JBL 716, 8POA683, ARB21, 8SSM051, 7WUJ373, all of them molesting. They're all stalking, and they're all molesting while they're stalking. Touching together. So you're talking about a whole bunch of people who are psychopaths. These are demons, people with a spirit of death on them that are touching all over your body. Put that image in your mind, because that's what the entity is doing. All right, tracking your every move, maintaining presence all around you, and making sure that they're able to continue touching you everywhere. All right, license with an instrument serving to monitor you with a communication device. Okay, 6V70693, group stalking at gas stall number 4 at Mobile Gas. Mobile is on the opposite side of 7th Street and Mountain Avenue, where I'm at right now. The Mobile, it's a Mobile/Circle K. It's 6:27 p.m. Alrighty, lined up at gas stall number 6, license 8SKZ631, gas stall number 8, 8RJS520, and 7WSK082. That may very likely be Michael's license plate. Michael's at the register ringing me up, monitoring with the communication device with this fat white lady. She's not a lady. This fat white demon-faced minion with license 8SKZ631 on gas stall number 6, license 58927X2 on gas stall number 2, license 8WDH098. Monitoring with the minions who are lined up in traffic, 8UNG991, 8VPT190, V957KO, 8RON412, 8PRN268, 6SSS586. Yeah. 7HCE120. Digital Arts, they're monitoring American citizens while they're driving around in this Digital Arts commercial vehicle, license plate 13000T1. Communication device in operation, by the way. 5MBN746, 8KUP165, 5PRY974, 26522X2, 8ZGP241, 7BDC384, I believe, 6KJP718, 8PCN660, 8YXP128, Mercedes-Benz of Ontario courtesy car, excuse me. Again, that's 8YXP128, AZA590, Arizona, 8ZDL139, 8FZR956, 8ETC629, 5HDV709, and it is currently 6:31 p.m. 8BGP464. Alrighty, minions like this. The entity engages in vibrating the vehicle while a motorcycle drives by me in the car, where the people of the state are monitoring on Fern and G Street. License 2F51899. Just want to give you an example of what is a minion. They're monitoring. License, I think I read that one already. Yeah, this demon, this is an Asian female. She's pacing, using her vehicle 8BGP464, going forward and backward and forward and backward. It's not an inability to drive. It's a demon that's pacing. Understand that. License 8NO63, handicap. 8ETC629. 8RJS520. BLG5688, Arizona, 6J02761. 8ZGS358. 8SCS587. 7XTH655. And remember, I'm documenting an entity that's ceaselessly engaged in a pattern of conduct and adding to the roster today. You already are understanding the perpetual sex offender. All right, and that's a sex offense that is necessary as a matter of justice. It's not just a one time or a couple of times. The entity is a perpetual sex offender. All right, and this is the prosecution for being prosecuted as a group stalker on behalf of the government. You're a perpetual sex offender, and that is necessary as a matter of justice under federal law. You are also understanding what is 2378 1F2, who I'm going to prosecute for engaging in attempted kidnapping tonight. 8WHK090, which is a pattern. That's what criminal summoning is about. 8DSB728, 6UKE439, 8LAF926, and it is 6:33 p.m. 8YJS228. It's 6:34 p.m. License 7UDS324, 7SVD762, 022. I'll get that one in a second. 7ACA823. And this license plate is 02259A2. It's 6:35. 7JAG756. 8MVA395. 6FFN 772, 8YHH 110, 8KO 276, 7ZXK 232. This is Salcedo, I believe. So this is a tow truck company. Let me get this. Just sitting in the alley, aiming light, in operation of a communication device, monitoring while I'm reading license plates. That's what that demon with 8KOF 276 is doing. Sitting on the opposite side of the mobile gas, license plate 5XVC962, license 6KJP718, 8RRT130, molesting. License, let me see, I can't see that, but this one is Salceda Trucking Incorporated, California 515710. They're monitoring. The license plate is 98954 V1, but I can't really see the rest of that one. This is facilitation while they leave the tow truck and go into another facilitated venue, a restaurant. It's facilitation with light. A demon driving a tow truck. Again, that's 98954 V1. That's the license plate. And this demon's license, 7RFW279. Make sure that license plate is correct. Yeah. 98954 V1. MBJ 278. Write that one. 3WMX 425. 6TYC016. 611 10C1. Heart UDOLLS 6TXU 788. Molesting. 6FPC 267. 8YFD, I can't really see the rest of that one, hold on. 6WES 731, 6RPH 863. And it's 6:38 p.m. Just want to make sure I got this. 8TFS 681, 14699G2. 7CSS 278, 8PCH 801. Reading these in the parking lot, making sure I read all of this. 7MPU 711. 7ZJL 606. 6PSH 779. These are demons that are just sitting all around in relevant position in their vehicles chiefly and waiting. It's based on what I do as I do it. 8FCV828, and this is why you have as I walk, as I move around, then all of a sudden you've got not all of a sudden, as I move, the rhythm of activity follows what I do as I do it. All right, so as I'm moving around, you have a whole bunch of them getting into their car, starting their ignitions, getting out of their car, sounding their car alarms. This is ongoing activity creation. 8GWZ 655. In my personal opinion, it's just absolutely pathetic. You're basing your entire existence around another person. What a loser. All right? 6RFR 465. It's pathetic. I mean, I couldn't never, but I don't serve Satan. Satan is, the epitome of, you can't even fathom what is a loser. And again, words that we use in the natural to communicate with each other are in many ways insufficient. Okay? Words cannot adequately explain many, many things, and it includes evil. It includes the depravity. It includes the creatures that are the demon possessed. When you're understanding the system, the spirit that's operating over them. 4WTZ853, 71054V2. And this conduct is speaking to what is demonic activity, and that demonic activity is ongoing, regardless of the smile on the face of this demon, regardless of how nice or even how rude they are, however it is you are encountering. And this is what I'm speaking, whether you know that demon's name or not, it is unmistakable with regard to your ability to know the presence of Satan. I have revealed it to you, okay? That which I have alleged, I have substantiated, and I'm also going further and showing those who have an ear to know the truth. This is with regard to understanding, which is obviously necessary because there is someone that needs to know this. And so I want to be clear, understanding and identifying the presence of Satan. It's for your own good. It is necessary, and you understand and you recognize Satan. Satan is present through people. The demon possessed Satan is present through the environment, that impossible environment. And you also have that, because while you are looking at and witnessing my documentation of what is not the sun over me, you already know that's not the sun over you wherever you are. 8GWZ 255, I believe, molesting me. Okay, 7KTR 144, which I can see fully clearly, they are molesting me. That's how an entity acts together. You have a psychopath, a sex offender that's trying to flee. 7HMR 085 is a sex offender the same. They're demons surrounding together. Okay, molesting together, stalking together, trying to touch all over you with light together. But anyway, that is the unmistakable ability to do so, to know that, and to understand that, and to equip yourself with that knowledge, because it's absolutely necessary with regard to understanding what is demonic activity, what is the presence of Satan, being able to discern that where you lack that spiritual eye. Perhaps you don't have the ability to discern that without any, for example, physical, nothing manifestly shown to you that you could visibly see. All right. So you're talking about the ability to discern that which is hidden physically. OK, and anyone can know that. Anyone. You do know it. OK, including the documentation with regard to what is criminal conduct. Stalking with an entire environment. And how has Satan literally trapped itself up? Because lying to us about what is the sun, well, guess what? That supposed sun is documented as a matter of objective evidence for the world over me where I am in Southern California in a specific county, more often than not over a specific building all day long. That's to the exclusion of you wherever you are. Unless you're sitting there next to me all day long, the light source, which is not the sun, is over your head, and you're witnessing the presence of Satan. It's not the sun, and it is an impossibility. And it does not change. Okay, you're talking about going 90 days covering up this light source that is not the sun. Then let me be clear, Satan is very desperate and hoping that you forget. Okay, you don't forget, and it does not change. Once you know the truth is just that, period. It doesn't change because days go by. All right, you're talking about what is also a matter of common sense. You're talking about the sun. So you're talking about what's not going to change with regard to what is the sun and what is not possibly the sun 1 day from now, 7 days from now, 7 weeks from now. Okay, so you're going to understand that. And this is also what I've shown with regard to the pattern of conduct. You got another sex offender stalking, aiming light. Their headlights are not that which is molesting me from that distance. This is directed light that they're touching with, and this sex offender is monitoring all the same while they try to go around the corner. License 8HOY 505. It's very, very, very sad. You're talking about what is very serious prosecution for that sexual violence. Let me be clear. Nobody wants to be prosecuted as a sex offender, just as an ordinary sex offender. And you're certainly not going to want any of that with regard to being a perpetual sex offender as the government. But you have what is the desperate and sexual violence of a government? 8BHL030, speaking to that compulsion, that demonic threat to your life while that sex offender engages in that conduct. 8RGU704. All right. And that's literally the handing over of that evidence of that, the documentation engaging in that. And that is the conduct of indeed a sex offender that is always seeking to touch you. All right. And while they are following you, which is stalking. All right. While you have an entire environment that is also following you, because it's not the actual environment, the natural environment. Directed light, that light source that's over my head, that's not the sun, and that's not sunlight. You also are paying attention to that environment that you hear audibly, the acoustics around me, amplification. Okay. This is an entirely demonic environment and an unnatural one, and none of which is outside of the bounds of being capable of also establishing that in a court of law. It becomes directly relevant when you're showing what is literally the impossibility of such conduct, of whatever it is that you're documenting. But like I said, it's currently 6:45 p.m. and it's one and the same. Where the entity is stalking with the fake sun, you are indeed stalking as a group, as a government. That the pattern of conduct is established. That's the prima facie case. You are stalking with a fake sun, which is an impossibility. This is the presence of Satan, and that demonic pattern of conduct is underway. Directed light, the prima facie case is established. It's impossible light activity. And where that is underway, you are indeed surrounded by what are demons who are engaging in what is an entirely demented pattern of stalking while interstate stalking, which is surveillance by people. All right, sex offender, 8WBX078. It's 6:46 p.m. And so these are the hallmarks, as I've shown them. These are the hallmarks, and that is revealing that pattern of conduct that is underway, and it is directly relevant and applicable to any person anywhere in the world, and it's by virtue of what is the criminal system that Satan sought to do in plain sight. All right, using a sun. Well, guess what? That very evil tactic is that which is making it so exclusive. It is exclusive because there's only one sun. There's never been a claim that there's multiple suns. One. So that's how you know what's going on. And it's unmistakable. All right. And so you're talking about what is some change in the environment, hiding the light source. So it doesn't change what it is that you've already witnessed. It does not change. And understand Satan is real, and Satan is witnessing its own demise. All right. So pay attention. Pay attention. And also pay attention to the ways in which that I'm documenting, because when I say a sex offender and you don't have permission to touch me, you're going to be prosecuted for that, because I don't play that. 8UJJ215, I don't play that. And it's come to my awareness for that very purpose. 7XRG181, and I would not play that for any client on whose behalf I was representing. Okay, so it happened to me for a reason. All right, I was able to see it, discern it, and then break it down for another to witness for a reason. 7VSP768. And when I say you're going to federal prison, that's exactly where you're going. That's exactly what you're going. That's exactly what you are establishing with regard to the necessity of that policy that I've already created. You are going to be bound up like the animals that you are, while they are all listening to me document them, and they're stalking and monitoring and witnessing their own demise. Even in that, understand the irony in that. The very wicked system which was designed to monitor me is the very means whereby Satan is learning about its own fate, that it's not escaping. Right? And let me be clear, only the heavens above can design that. Only the heavens above. Satan doesn't have any authority. All right, if Satan was clever, if Satan was a ruler of all, if Satan knew everything, he would have come up with an infallible plan to monitor you. License 5TND049, and he did not. He did not. It's currently 6:48 p.m. All right, literally all these demons are doing are just taking turns patrolling, just driving by one after another with directed light. If I turn one way, then you have another sex offender coming from the opposite direction, engaging in an ongoing tag team of molestation. This is literally what all they're doing. All right, so it's essentially just documenting the same exact entity, 5RFK250. 6CER773, BU45W19, paper plate. License 8GNY799, license 6VKD409, license 8HOY505, 8GNY799, in case I didn't read that one already. That's all they're doing, just taking turns. This is Satan, the same actor over and over again. Understand that you're dealing with a spirit, all right? You're not dealing with flesh and blood. Satan using face after face after face. All right, and how do you know you're dealing with Satan? First of all, that's level one, because of the environment, the impossible light activity. This is a demonic environment. All right, and also you're dealing with the same public entity, the state of California, that is placing you under surveillance, monitoring through all of these demons. Okay, and that's a combination of what is criminal and demonic together. Federal group stalking and monitoring. 5REK250, a demon. It's pathetic. parks in front of 355 South Mountain Avenue as I start walking toward her, talking about how they're tag teaming with directed light. She parks. This is crossing path and loitering, and then engaging in what is just driving off. This is nothing but a demon that's engaging in stalking. That's all they're doing while they're driving around in the parking lot. All they're doing is stalking. That's it. They're not doing anything else. It's pathetic. License CA98N77. That's a paper plate. And again, that is affirmed as a matter of fact. It is objective. This indeed is the light source that is not possibly the sun, directly over the Dunkin' Donuts. And as I was pointing out, you have what is the entity engaging in what is covering up that light source, okay? And that's what you see. What?
Are you doing okay?
Are you okay?
I'm just asking because I've been getting calls that you've been walking around and they're getting scared because a lot of homeless people are bothering people.
Who am I talking to right now?
I'm just asking if you're okay, that's all.
No, you're not. You're saying that your allegations as to asking me whether I'm okay because you got calls. What am I doing right now? Who am I talking to?
They're just making sure that you're...
Who is they?
I can't give
This
you...
is Allied Universal. What?
I can't give you any information about that.
Okay, that's very vague, and nothing that I'm doing is speaking to or necessitating you're asking me if I'm okay. I'm actually concerned about whether you're okay. You have shadows on both sides of you. Are you okay?
I'm just asking you a question. That's it.
Okay, because nothing that I'm doing is...
That's fine. You can say...
Right, and you approach me when I'm... Who am I talking to? I'm holding my phone, right?
Okay, I'm just asking a question.
Okay, well, you're asking me a question which defies common sense. Okay, by Allied Universal, she's got double shadows. This is a demon, and she's in no way verifying the criminal summoning of the Upland Police, engaging in making that same while she's monitoring, okay? This demon has shadows on both sides of her. She's the one that has the issue, not me. And while she's talking about, oh, I've been getting calls, which is... they're worried about, and while I'm standing over here holding my phone, I'm not even talking to anyone. And by the way, I have not spoken to anyone. You're talking about what is 7XAX170, the only demon that engaged in what is harassing me because I'm documenting her fat face engaging in stalking. All right, so that is talking about getting multiple calls, though. When I'm not talking to anyone. And so, like I said, this is the P.O.C. She's standing in directed light while she's engaging in that, and the state is still flying over the same parking lot, monitoring with these demons who are engaging in an ongoing molestation. That's Allied Universal. 4WON432 is Tracy Banks, who is monitoring at all times, monitoring with minions. She is a minion herself. It is 6:52 p.m. This is P.O.C. And the reason she's a minion and she listens to every truth that I speak about her on my podcast. And I'm prosecuting her as well. It's 6:52 p.m. All right, license 8BET073, 8RTD143, molesting. 8BGF364. It is currently 8:47 p.m. and this is to document what is the same exact entity that I'm documenting of American Medical Response, FedEx, the establishments where the ongoing criminal surveillance is underway in concert and on behalf of a government, in concert with the people of the state, as I am identifying such third parties who are demon possessed at the today in Upland at the Mountain Green Shopping Plaza and inside of the venue that is Dunkin' Donuts at 355 South Mountain Avenue, replete with what is the ongoing pattern of directed light, which is demonic. It's absolutely impossible light activity. It's a demonic environment where surveillance is underway with communication devices. This entity engaging in what is criminal summoning while that pattern of conduct is underway. This is the attempt by an entity to engage in what is essentially kidnapping via law enforcement. Law enforcement are arriving pursuant to what is facilitation by the people of the state, acting as a single entity who are engaged in surveillance with communication devices together in that identical environment, engaging in what is surveillance and monitoring through what is the visible physical presence, encountering such demon-possessed law enforcement agencies, all right, such as the Upland Police Department, as you heard, as I documented, while I am currently being molested with directed light, the state is engaging in seconds earlier, flying over the pattern of stalking by helicopter, while the entity is then present, and admittedly so by what is the criminal act of criminal summoning of that entity, while you are a demon engaging in criminal surveillance with communication devices in violation of Title 18, engaging in what is terrorism, and monitoring that documentation and being hostile to it. Okay, so I want to be clear, the same exact entity, that same exact pattern of conduct is ceaselessly underway, while you have what is directed light now being aimed, concentrated into the vehicle where this entity is stalking and pacing around where it is that I sleep, which is the ongoing long-term documented pattern of conduct, ceaselessly underway. All right. And so I want to be clear. It is a ceaseless pattern of conduct. This is the same entity engaging in what is an attempt to engage in kidnapping today. It is harassment while you are being documented, and necessarily so. It is a criminal act of obstruction of justice while you're engaging in criminal conduct yourself. So I want to be clear. This exact same entity is engaging in this ongoing state terrorism and surveillance is underway while I'm inside of the vehicle that is parked at the intersection of G Street and Fern, where the demon possessed are engaging in what is ceaseless stalking and directed light being aimed onto me, concentrated into the area where I am, which happens to be a vehicle where that system of surveillance is underway. The entity is patrolling, that is repeatedly crossing paths, flying over the venue that is right outside of where this vehicle is parked, 403 West G Street. That is crossing path. That is stalking in the airspace via aircraft. This is terrorism. While directed light remains, while directed light is coexisting with demons patrolling, that is crossing path repeatedly in vehicles. And while directed light remains all around on the grounds, demons patrolling, walking by, maintaining presence in wherever it is that they live. This is the ceaseless pattern of conduct that's underway. So I just want to be clear. It is a seamless and a ceaseless pattern of conduct. And that entity that is engaging in what is an attempt to kidnap while you are documenting it is engaging in that ongoing pattern of conduct as I'm documenting criminal summoning and as I go from place to place, okay? So this is leaving from Upland to the vehicle where this same exact government is stalking me, is monitoring me, and then engaging in what is that ceaseless pattern of conduct. This is the absurdity of that entity that has no legitimacy whatsoever while engaging in criminal conduct and engaging in what is this documented acts, the documented acts of obstruction of justice. And this is demonic. This is Satan that you are encountering, and only Satan itself can engage in and can fathom, all right, can conjure up such hypocrisy. All right, it is despicable hypocrisy, and this is literal criminal activity. As I am not only documenting it, but I'm showing you how this criminal system operates, what it looks like, and in no way to be deceived. There is no deception. It is made plain for you. That environment is the direct evidence of it. It is an impossible environment. It is a telling environment. All right, it is speaking to what is that pattern of conduct, and I just want to document the people of the state who are in the zone of relevant positioning, which I have specifically even laid out on a map for you to see. It is relevant positioning while I'm subject to surveillance, while a people are engaging in what is monitoring with communication devices, while they are in relevant position. There is no shelter inside of any place where a demon, a third party, lives. Where they are stalking and monitoring with the government that is also present, stalking directly, engaging in that massive satanic targeting system. It is currently 8:52 p.m. and that same exact pattern of conduct that I'm documenting outside of the vehicle is continuing, and this is the entity stalking from place to place. All right, it is 8:52 p.m. and this is P.O.C. All right, license 8JRN991. This is at the venue of 409 West G Street. The entity is flying over the street, over these venues right here in relevant position to me. And while these are demons, so this is exactly how I'm going to refer to them. They're third parties for purposes of prosecuting, but this is a demonic system, and this is demonic activity. License 5F, I can't really see that one. License 7AEA653, this is 411 West G Street. Where this vehicle is parked. These are venues, okay? And so while the entity is a third party, like you just heard, driving by, and I'm sitting in the vehicle that's parked on at the intersection of G Street and Fern Avenue. Let me get this demon's license plate. They are so hilarious. 8UTH348. They cross path at a distance, especially when I'm out of the car to see their license plate. But the cowards that are demons, they engage in criminal activity and sexual violence on the run. License 7VRN082. So, for example, this third party is driving east on G Street, and the vehicle that I'm sitting inside of that is facing east on G Street, and I'm sitting on the passenger side, and you'll have what is directed light that appears on the passenger side of the vehicle, and it's like a large rounded shaped light, just light floating up. if you can picture like bubbles, large bubbles, but it's not bubbles, it's light. And it's light just moving upward, just touching all around on the passenger side, concentrating it, moving it vertically across the dashboard, onto the feet. You have demons that are aiming light with their vehicles, getting behind the car, as I've shown the United States Postal Service engaging in this conduct, including third parties who are using their own vehicles, as I've documented, 323 West G Street. They went to that venue after engaging in this entirely demented conduct. It's demonic. It's focusing light while you're stalking and monitoring with communication device. So I just want to document, this is the conduct that they're engaging in. This is the light that occurs. 7 HOX 164 is a demon. All right. And you have what is on an ongoing ceaseless basis, a people that are engaging in ongoing ceaseless stalking while they are crossing path, and you have what is demonic light that cycles through the vehicle. This is literally impossible light activity, and it is the ongoing identical pattern of conduct, okay? Concentrating this directed light anywhere that I'm at, including inside of a vehicle. It is all manner of what is stalking with light, which is terrorism. Stalking as an entity is also terrorism. And you are talking about what is engagement in what is the ongoing pattern of conduct for purposes of what is criminal. Okay, not only is this demonic activity, it's criminal. They're engaged in interstate stalking, and this is what I'm documenting. And so I have outlined what is the zone of relevant positioning. These are minions that are example. You can document what is 713 North Vine Avenue in the city of Ontario. They're in relevant position. All right, monitoring systematically by virtue of their use of communication devices, engaging in ongoing surveillance while I am surrounded on an ongoing basis with what is a terrorizing environment, okay? This is amplification of plane activity. The state also amplifying train activity. This is a minion crossing path. While I'm outside of the vehicle, I can see their license plate. It is 8GH056, substantially similar. This is demonic pacing, driving in the opposite direction. License plate 5GDF546. And it's currently 9:03 p.m. All right, so you're listening to what are plane engines and directed light. Woodside Senior Apartments, you have a demon that's crossing path at the property, monitoring 6ATF523. That representative of a communication device that's coming into cross path while the state flies over while these demons are pacing in the street in vehicles. All right, while I'm outside of the vehicle, you have what is the entity crossing path as I can see their license plates. While I'm inside of the vehicle, the entity is just cycling directed light all inside of the car. I've shown you this on walls. For example, you see the directed light moving all across the asphalt. That's exactly what the entity is aiming inside of a vehicle. It's entirely demented. Okay, this demonic activity underway as I'm at Dunkin' Donuts today, and as I'm documenting demons who are stalking in the path with light, and then demons are just mad, engaging criminals, summoning you'll go to federal prison for that. 5740213, I believe. That's exactly what is the grounds of a federal prison, okay? Psychopaths that are engaging in this pattern of conduct. And then you're talking about what is an obsessed stalker. Your stalking activity is already well documented. And you are talking about what is harassment while you are being documented. You are going to be documented and you are going to be prosecuted. Obstruction of justice is necessary to understand. Obstruction of justice is the pattern of conduct. It is built into the pattern of conduct, okay? License plate. It is 9:04 p.m. These are demons just crossing path one after another. This is stalking by the people of the state. 8TDG833. 7HGM616. 8THF255. And as frequently as you hear them crossing path, the entity is engaging in 7PCJ857, repeatedly aiming, cycling, directed light, and possible light activity inside of the car. All of them are demons, and that is the engagement in what is a system. And that is also how you are speaking to what is the massive presence of what is the demonic, okay? The demonic are engaging in what is a surveillance as they are all monitoring with communication devices. So I just wanted to get out and get some of those license plates. This is what the entity is doing on a ceaseless basis, 24 hours a day, and all night long while stalking is underway. Okay, demons do not take a rest, and you also have what is a people that are engaging in group demonic activity together, which is criminal. Okay, it's in violation of Title 18 while they are monitoring with communication devices. It is 9:05 p.m. and this is P.O.C.